Hello everyone, welcome to the Wayne Township Board of Trustees meeting for August 19th, 2025. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Welcome everyone, please sign the logbook in the back before leaving, we appreciate it. Can I have a roll call please?
Made. Mr. Kaufman?
Here.
Mr. Jacobs?
Here.
Ms. Colvin?
Here.
You have a quorum?
Excellent. Pledge of allegiance please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So next I need approval of the minutes from the previous meeting, that would have been the August 5th meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the August 5th meeting.
I will second.
Alrighty, voice vote. All in favor of approving the August 5th meeting minutes, say aye.
Aye.
And the nays, like sign. Motion's carried.
Do we have any additions, removals, or disclosures from the posted agenda?
No, we do
So first off, we're going to welcome our guest. We have Sheriff Barry K. Riley, our Warren County Sheriff, and we also have Major Steve Arismith with us, Commander of the Warren County Drug Task Force. So,
Actually, yeah, do you mind passing these out? Well, thank you all. Thank you for your service to our community and to our county. It's a pleasure to be here, and I don't know how you all feel about filling the shoes of somebody who is the most popular man in this county. It is a tough job. So I went into the office of sheriff with a plan and as much energy as I could muster up. And some of the things that you're going to see here tonight are different philosophies from what you're used to. We're allowed to do things differently, and I wanted you all to be in the loop of some of the things that your deputy sheriffs, and just specifically some of the things that are the hidden part of the sheriff's office, which is our jail, encounter. And I won't be long, but I'm giving you a couple things here for you to kind of gloss over when you have an opportunity. I'll tell you a quick story. On January the 5th, I don't know if you all remember January the 5th. I'm lucky to remember past last Tuesday. It's one of Steve's famous statements. But on January the 5th, we had one of the most epic snowstorms our county has ever seen. And I had already made the determination prior to coming into office that I was going to bring back snow emergencies. Because for me, there's nobody that knows the county roads better than a deputy sheriff at the four corners all over the place, and I take their word of what's going on out there. And I felt I owed it to the citizens of the county. So on January the 5th, I'm rolling in, I'm locked in at 2. The roads were bad. Now, I didn't take office until midnight. So I was coming in to start swearing everybody in at midnight so they had legal authority to go do their job. So I'm sitting there, I'm at my desk, I'm getting everything ready. I look out, and I was white-knuckled coming in, and I look out again, and I'm like, you know what? I can't be fired. So I called a snow emergency, and I own it. I own that. And when I had people, and let me tell you who I do it for. I do it for this guy. I do it for the guy and girl that are plowing the roads. I do it for our first responders out there. I do it for the school bus drivers. And the feedback that I received was,
I saw that.
awesome. So that is a little bit of a different philosophy and something that I brought to our office. Another thing on day 2, which was the first real business day, I signed a purchase order for body cameras. Every one of your deputy sheriffs that you encounter on road patrol now has body cameras on them. Again, just the philosophical difference. For me, you're already on video anyway. I'd rather own it. Owning it allows us to have better training, protection for our men and women, and certainly better prosecution. So your deputy sheriffs now have body cams on them. One of the things that I also did was I added 2 additional canines to our jail. And until you have had to been a jail administrator and had to look a parent in the eye and tell them that their child is dead because of a drug overdose in your jail, you don't get to weigh in on this one. That's my job. And that's a bad job. So any opportunity that I have to rid our jail of drugs, we take advantage of it. I don't know how successful they are. We may never know how successful they are. But every time they enter the cell block and you hear a toilet flush, we've done our job. So it is certainly a pleasure to be here, and I value our partnerships. Wayne Township, while you see by this new stat sheet that you're looking at, may not be the busiest township in the county. Let's keep it right that way, right? So you all account for about 4% of all of our calls for service. Now, this is a 6-month snapshot. I am tracking statistics differently. I do not lump fire calls into our statistics. You look on this stat sheet and you can probably recognize the addresses where we would go for the majority of our calls. But we are blessed to have this partnership, and I know that Gus is just a text away if I ever need anything up this way. Just a very small amount about me, because I feel I owe it to you. I am the new guy, but I'm not. I've been there for a long time, 30 years, 31 years. It might be 32 years. So I've only been a United States Army infantryman or worked at the Warren County Sheriff's Office. Those are the 2 jobs I've had as an adult, and this is where I'm going to do my law enforcement career at. This is the last uniform I will wear. I'm blessed to be in this role, and by our account, it's the first time that we've ever homegrown somebody to the seat, meaning this, that I'm a Warren County kid through and through, graduate of Lebanon High School, and being able to come up through the ranks and work with these friends, family. This guy that you're getting ready to listen to, we literally have grown up together at that office, and he's been a teacher and a mentor and a friend of mine for so long. But the one thing that we share is the job, and we kick butt at it. And it is our job to be responsive to you, responsive to these citizens, and make sure that we have everything that we need going on in this county. The general fund of the county is healthy, but we haven't added a deputy sheriff to the general fund since 2014. I don't know about you, but this county has grown a lot in 10 years. And I'm working with the commissioners. They did graciously approve 2 deputy sheriff positions last year, or this year for my first year, and I need 1 more. That's not a big ask, but they're taking me to task on it. So we'll get there. We'll get there. We need that additional deputy sheriff because we cannot fall behind. Law enforcement today you're starting to see the pendulum kind of come back a little bit centered. If you're going to be a cop, you want to do it here in this county. We just are so lucky to have the resources. People still buy our lunch in the drive-thru and thank us for our service. So we're very, very lucky to do that. So does anybody have any questions of me? That stat sheet that you see is a work in progress. You're soon going to see on our website an interactive crime mapping system that will allow you to track your own statistics. And my goal is to be able to provide you, not coming here in person, but coming here or sending you an updated stat sheet at least once, twice, 3 times, however many times you want, so you can track your own stuff and see if you recognize any hot spots that you may be able to tip to us. I do believe in tracking this in a fashion that allows you to work it. Why capture it if you're not going to make informed decisions off of it? So,
Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
thank you all.
Thank you,
Thank you all
Sheriff.
so much.
Appreciate you stopping.
Get ready for the show because
Yeah.
my brother Steve's coming up next.
Well, welcome, show.
Yeah.
I'll have to follow up for sure.
Yeah, he was the opening act here.
I know,
Yeah.
he's a new act. Like I said before we started, I feel like it's the same story every year for us, but, you know, we're that unit that everybody in this room knows who we are. You know, I'll touch on the standard bullet, so who we are and what we do, talk about some numbers. To just kind of piggyback on what the sheriff said about collaboration, as you know, every year when I come around, I thank you, this board of trustees and the people in this room, people watching, just for the partnership, because as you know, we don't exist, the Drug Task Force does not exist without you folks and all the communities across this county, and our county commissioners and our sheriff and our policy board members and police chiefs. So just thank you for that. Before I touch on what's in that annual report, I say this every year as well. It kind of looks the same because that's the best I can do with a Word document and my computer skills. So how the sheriff produced that one-page thing, I don't know, but I don't have those skills. So let me touch on a few things. We are still a multi-jurisdictional drug task force, so nothing has changed about that and our design and who we are. We operate in all of Warren County and the city of Wilmington. Wilmington, as you know, has a kind of a direct nexus to Warren County, right across State Route 73, and we get a lot of traffic that runs from I-75 and off 71, kind of goes both ways. So it made sense for Wilmington to become part of our team. We target mid to upper level drug traffickers. In our county, as you know, we are the only drug task force that operates here. So there's nobody else to kind of tap in if we're not out there doing it. So we do address lower level trafficking offenses as well. And you know, our job is to kind of take those lower level suspects and try to find out where they're getting their drugs from. And as I've said in years past, you know, for the last 5, 6, 7 years, the answers to those questions are Dayton and Cincinnati more and more. So we spend a lot of our time chasing drug traffickers that are here in our county, that are traveling through our counties, that are hit our county, getting multiple jurisdictions throughout the day that are from Dayton, Cincinnati, and don't even live here. Very difficult to work. The HIDA program, as mentioned in your annual report, high-intensity drug trafficking area. Our new sheriff sits on the executive board now for the Ohio HIDA, so we're very much a part of that. We are the Ohio HIDA. There's 34 what's called initiatives, which are basically task forces across the state of Ohio. And also there's a couple in northern Kentucky and a couple in western Pennsylvania that are part of the Ohio HIDA program because those jurisdictions impact Ohio so much that they just brought them under the umbrella of the Ohio HIDA. So they provide some funding to us that helps us operate, and basically that's the real mechanism that brings in, like we were talking about the FBI before the meeting started. They are our federal partners under the HIDA. You have to have federal participation, which is really helpful when you're conducting drug investigations because you so quickly leave your primary jurisdiction. So to have federal, state, and local law enforcement together with the same mission, it just works. There's no better way to, it's not perfect. There's no perfect way to attack this problem, but this is the best way we've found to do it. Force multiplier for sure for all of our agencies. Policy board, that's mentioned in your annual report. As the commander, although the sheriff's office is my home agency, that's where I've worked my entire law enforcement career. On the drug task force side of the house, we have a policy board established, which is police chiefs and the department heads, the prosecutor from Clinton County, prosecutor from Warren County. Those are the advisory board for the drug task force. So we have monthly meetings where we get together, we talk about funding, grants, just drug threats, what the task force is doing. We do some investigative briefings and things, and the policy board can ask questions or redirect me if there's something they want changed as far as what we're doing. Policy board comes from 16 different agencies. That's a lot of bosses. Provide oversight, input, and direction. Staffing for last year, we had 17 people from 11 different agencies. There's a list in your annual report of each one of those agencies. Our overall activity, we had 231 cases. As you know, our cases are not, we're not like a quick hit kind of unit that you might see in, an inner city situation, where a longer term investigative unit, our investigations tend to take a long time. It takes quite a while to identify the moves and the people and to make our kind of cases. So we routinely push cases from 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, 8 months. We have some that go well over the 1 year mark. Just kind of depends on where that case is taking us and how we're progressing. We had 102 felony arrests. Our uniformed troopers, as you know, we have Highway Patrol uniform interdiction guys with us, 2 troopers and 1 supervisor. They made 1,231 traffic stops, seized 56 firearms, executed 123 search warrants. Same as last year, our primary drug threats remain methamphetamine and fentanyl. Cocaine is right up there as well. So those are kind of what keep us busy most days. 2024, we seized almost 15 pounds of methamphetamine. And as I've mentioned in years past, where you'll see that in your report too, we report as a task force to Columbus, to the Department of Public Safety, all of our seizure data. All drug task forces that are grant funded have to do that. So 2024, we had the 9th highest seizure rate of methamphetamine. We had the 5th highest of fentanyl, about 14.7 pounds of fentanyl seized, 2nd highest prescription drugs, and had the highest cocaine seizure numbers in the state of Ohio or task forces last year at 162.4 pounds. So we stay super busy. Those numbers can fluctuate, as you know, from year to year. It really depends on, who we're getting information on, what kind of people are cooperating with us that year. Unfortunately, the reality of it is there's probably no drug you could name that you can't find nowadays. That's just the reality of things. But we need people to cooperate with us and work with us and provide information, and so that can kind of impact those numbers. Southwest Ohio, Warren County, Hamilton County, Butler County, Montgomery County, Greene County, lots of high seizure numbers that you can really connect right to Dayton and Cincinnati, because those are huge source cities. We have, this population continues to grow in our county, which means the customer base here grows. Once we can fix greed and addiction, we're going to be in good shape. But until then, we're going to have a lot of work to do. But we keep hitting it every day. And thank you again for your support. Glad to take any questions if you have any.
Thank you, Major. Either you had
I have a
questions?
The one thing I had is basically I want to give you another, every year I usually donate to you
You
guys.
do, and
So, yeah, so thank you, yeah. So personally, yeah. So, yeah, thank you. Thank you too.
On behalf of the residents of Wayne Township, we
Yeah.
present you with this check here also. So, thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you again for.
Yeah, that's not a, can I take a photo of that and put it on our
Sure.
X
Whatever.
page?
That'd be
We don't get to do that very often, so that would be,
Yeah, boy. I'm gonna look up there.
cover his check out,
Yeah, that's right. Somebody was zooming in.
There's not much in there.
Your account will get hacked by the morning.
I was gonna give one of those big checks.
got it, thank you so much.
The jumbo checks.
So much.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks for taking the job. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
We need
It was my duty.
So my stepdad was the sheriff and then my mom was the deputy.
Where is
So
it?
over Harrison County. So yeah, yeah.
Every year.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
All right.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Have a good evening. Appreciate you guys.
I got a full list.
What?
I got a full list.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Take care. Have a good one. Okay, so moving on, we have citizens' comments. Do we have any comments from the citizens? Okay, excellent. So moving forward, next we have road department report. Good evening, Scott.
Good evening, Board. Just a couple updates on my report. Number 2, Manhole, Mr. Manhole should be here on Friday, this coming Friday, the end of the week. They're gonna pull him off of job. He's working, got over 150 manholes down in Hamilton, that he's only getting 6 to 8 a day. So I talked to Fred yesterday afternoon. He said he was gonna pull him off Hamilton and send him up here to get us done, so he could send us an invoice. Imagine that, he wants paid. So hopefully we'll get that wrapped up the end of the week. And then number 5, the ditching list is moving along really well. Guys have been hammering it out, and so I've been able to scratch things off my list, keep adding a few, but steady as she goes. The rest of my report, I will stand by and leave as it is. That's all I have, unless you all have anything you need to pass along to me or have any questions.
I think you guys are doing a great job.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jeff. And the rest of the crew too.
Excellent, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So moving forward, we have the fire department report. Good evening, Chief.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you. Just following up with some notes. Thank you to Assistant Chief Lalich for covering me while I was on vacation. You'd asked about the SAFER grant and where that stood. We did apply. Our application is in. They were supposed to start notifying yesterday, and we will know no later than September 30th is when all the notification will be done. So between now and September 30th, we'll get notified if we were awarded it or not. And then that will spark a whole nother conversation we have to have. Lexipol, who is our policies and procedures and fire rescue one, they released a new platform, which is completely different than the platform they had. It's nice, it's not super intuitive, so like before when I write policies, I'd send you guys a PDF so you could review it. That option isn't available on this new one, so they're now working on being able to make PDFs. So, and it's coming along. So, mitigating that and learning that new platform has been fun. We're gonna have our department open house tentatively for October 4th. That's the start of Fire Prevention Week. Fire Prevention Month is October. Last Thursday night on the 14th, we had crews to the Waynesville football game for their first scrimmage. And then myself, Jeff went to the football game with Lieutenant Dow. The EMS crew was on a run, and then they went to the football game. And then myself, Derek Brown, and Josh Carter went down. There's a Clear Creek Panthers football league they practiced down here in Corwin, and then last year we squirted the kids off. We did the same thing. They were super appreciative. It was very hot. I don't think the parents were super happy because I don't know if they knew it was happening. So went down there. We're working on finishing the cleanup and clean out of Station 92 over the next few weeks. We've kind of held off on it this week because it's been so hot. Mr. Cameron's nice enough to provide a dump truck for us that's sitting out in front of it. We're gonna fill up some of that metal that we're gonna send to recycling. And then one more thing that's not on here, this just happened today. I got a phone call about 10 a.m. from Chief Cross in Spring Valley to see if we could assist with some traffic control for the Greene County deputy that was, that passed away and his funeral procession was coming through town. So we went down and blocked Corwin Avenue and helped them out. And he called back and said, we look great, and he thanked us very much. So that's all I have right now, unless you have any questions.
I have none. Thank you very much, Chief. Moving forward, we have our zoning department report. Good evening, Stacy.
Good evening. Not much to add to the report here, just a hearing on Thursday night, and the ads are starting to come in for the magazine, which are due on September 2nd, so all that's underway. And then the zoning code will discuss under the work session.
And anything else for Stacy? Any questions?
Thank you, Stacy.
And next, administrator's report. Good evening, Gus.
Good evening, board. Presenting to you tonight, I guess, the final total or whatever for recycle alley. That Rumpke tire bill, in my opinion, is never going to get corrected. So we do have a $766.22 credit, and they keep adding on finance late fees, and I have to keep going around the bush to get those waived, so I think the best thing is to put this thing to rest and get it paid. It's not worth time and effort to go after, I think, about probably $600, and we're, in my opinion, is probably incorrect, because I got the way of proving it, and it's liable to not be approved that way. I think I got a simple explanation. I can just get one-on-one somebody, but you cannot get one-on-one with anybody at Rumpke anymore. So,
I think we paid that, I was in the Westwood.
because, yeah, if I take a trip down there, I'll probably blow a gasket. Somebody has to come get me to make it caught up in another
We need to call
county.
Barry back.
Yeah. Eagle Scout project, Ben Federley, he worked, him and his crew, on a project that encompassed clearing the path and through the woods, installing steps to the creek, and they built a crossing bridge. If you had a chance to walk down through the woods, real nice bridge down there. Got to take a look at it, and steps coming up out at both sides of the creek. So very hot day over a weekend, and him and his crew worked very well organized, and that's part of the Eagle Scout project badge. I put that in your packet so to get a chance you could read what all the requirements are. And every time I had any communication with Benjamin, he was very well organized. He took it all on his own. He organized everything that was out here over the weekend, and we got donations and so forth. And then, as he was supposed to, he was the leader of the crew, and he had it organized where he had people doing certain things. And it's so well organized, he had people even parked in certain locations, so they weren't just parked anywhere. But did an excellent job, I think.
That's great.
OPWC project, this one was a surprise. It's just a small property damage. Single car ran into a post over there, and now their insurance companies was after us and so forth about not having proper signs, notification notices and so forth. So I gave them my testimony about, everything, and referred them on to contractors, insurance companies. So I don't know what they're after, because in my opinion, other than the signpost, I don't think there was very little damage could have been done to that car. So I don't know where that was trying to go, but I think I got, at least got us out of the past. Haven't heard anything more for the last 3 or 4 days. So.
The right foot was a little too heavy.
Okay.
Going downhill,
Oh, come down.
yeah. Hit the wrong pedal, maybe that was it.
I'm sorry?
Hit the wrong pedal maybe, instead of brake.
Okay.
Yes. Friends Museum auction, we completed, actually got a deposit yesterday. Got a liability release agreement. They're going to already start bringing stuff into the station, and then that's going to be scheduled for September the 20th. I know I said last meeting it was going to be September 6th. The auctioneer did not make that date, so, and if he felt that they needed more time to inventory and put stuff up on the auction site. So August 20th, September 20th will be the auction date. Like I say, in tandem with this will help us, force us to get that 165 completely cleaned out and so forth. Civic Plus, website designer proposal, had a couple meetings with them. I took them off, put their information in your packet, with the cost, estimated cost, just for your information. And what I've left with them is that this is something that we will not probably look at in 2025. One, it's not been appropriated. Two, that it's just, we just won't have the time to even start that 10 or 12 week transition probably until after the first year, after the winter. Along with, we were looking at other vendors or so forth. street lighting districts, there was a 4% increase, according to our contract. So I've been through all of the calculations and have redone all the assessment pages and so forth, and got the new property owners, and that's in your packet, and it's up for resolution tonight to approve it, so I can get it sent off to the auditor's office, and then that will capture in 2026 tax assessments, the amount that we need to operate each lighting district's streetlights. And then next Wednesday, Thursday, 27th of August, we have a meeting with the Warren County Budget Committee. And Scott and I will be attending, I believe. That's all I have.
Thanks a lot.
Any other questions for Gus?
Yep, thank you, Gus.
Thank you, Gus, appreciate it. Moving forward, we have our fiscal officer report. Good evening, Scott.
Good evening. I really don't have a lot tonight. I did want to touch base. You asked for some numbers with regard to LCD fees. So last year we paid $987.51 for fees, which averaged $82.89 per month. This year, as of July 31st, we paid $589.13 in bank fees to LCD, which averaged $84.16, so a little more than almost $2 increase. And some of that's because we're transitioning to more ACH payments, and so we're getting charged for that as well, doing the ACH origination. So as we increase that, then the bank fees increase as well, so that's part of that. So we know we have that sweep account, and so the interest on that, it's called an ICS account, or ICS, yeah. It was 2.4 on the APR, so to give it a little bit more of a reference, Peoples is saying that they will give us, well, this month it's 3.58. It's 75 basis points less than whatever prime rate is. That's how they calculate it. So right now it's 3.58. So the STAR account is at 4.46 currently, and our weighted rate for our investments is at 3.83. So, LC&E's at 2.4 is quite a departure. When I spoke to them, they said they just couldn't structure it to give us that amount of money over like what we would be seeing with Peoples. So those are kind of the numbers that we've got. I know LCB is waiting for us to make a decision so we can execute their agreement if that's the direction we're going to go.
There was no bank fees at Peoples
Right,
for ACH or anything?
right. That's the commitment. And I will say, being a part of the village of Corwin, that's who we did business with, and they never charged us any bank fees. Because that was just what they did for government agencies.
I think it makes sense to move.
Yep, we'll make a motion to move.
Yeah.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah, I'll second that motion.
So, we can do that, and then maybe the next meeting we'll have a formal resolution to do all of that. But we can certainly start the bank work and doing some of that.
Because you have to run a parallel for it too.
Right. So here's another, I wanted to wait until actually this
Yeah.
conversation happened. So I talked to our EMS building, because right now we've got a savings account that receives some of that money, and then some of it, for somehow reason, goes to our checking account. So I was talking to the Med account, and they were saying, well, there's two ways to do it, like the way we do it, or all the money can go to them, and then they issue, of course, they pull out their money, and then issue us a check at the end of the month. They kind of do that now. We get the bulk of it, but still, they get some of the money, and then they take the fees out of that, and then cut us a check. Or if it's, upside down, then we have to pay them once in a great while. But if the positive, if they take over, they'll make the notification to all of the insurance companies and manage all of that we've switched banking accounts, and it'll go to them. We'd still have to have a secondary, or we'd have to have that other account run for a while, probably 6 months or more, to make sure that we're capturing it all. And it's not done at any additional fee, so it's I asked him, I said, well, how many other people operate like we do? He said, honestly, there's very few that do it like we do. He says it's typically very older accounts that do it like we do it, because that's just how they set it up whenever they did it. But he says more consistently now, the money comes to them and then they issue the check.
A check or an ACH?
They actually issue a hard check.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know if they'll change it anytime soon, but that's, yeah, when we get our monthly, true up, it's always in a check, so.
I mean, it is right now too?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Okay.
good. The only difference is we won't receive all that money throughout the month to us. It'll go to them and then they'll pull out their money and then issue us a check. And that's the only real difference, is they'll be tracking it more than, we'll just have to do a different kind of balance work, but that would also take care of the headache of dealing with all the insurance companies, when we transition. So,
It sounds simpler, so,
it is, it would be, if you guys go along with the idea.
as long as we're not gonna, I mean, we're a negative or anything, so, I mean, it's not like we need the money throughout the month per se.
Well, no, in fact, I just honestly, it's just been building up for quite a while in the savings account. Because we don't really typically use it for any, I mean, sometimes, we'll use it, I'll pull it from there instead of pulling it out of the STAR account, but, we get a little bit more money on hand right now, only because we're paving projects. And once we get this last bill paid, then we'll get a lot leaner in our, accounts right now, but, if you guys are okay with that, then I don't know if we really need a motion for that, but I'll tell them that's the direction we'll go. I'm sure there'll be something to sign, but.
So you just have a resolution for us next.
The resolution to switch banks, yeah,
Okay.
and start working on the transition from, LCD to Peoples. So,
Sounds good.
other than that, I don't think I have, anything else. That was a big one.
Very good.
Get our banking straight out.
I looked at that cyber stuff you sent out, cybersecurity stuff, you said we don't have to do anything until next year, it's for the smaller, what?
Well, I think there was
May
like.
of next year, it's for a smaller, but we do have to start reporting an incident if it
Yes,
happens.
yeah, there is a requirement that starts in
Right.
September.
Right,
Uh,
just everybody's aware.
September 30th.
yeah,
Yeah, September
that
30th.
there has to be some kind of guidelines in place.
Yeah.
And that's why I was, all for David Dow kind of taking a look at this and seeing what direction we need to go and,
Well, it sounds like there's a lot of help out there on that website too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we should all take a look.
Will do.
All right.
because we'll have to start getting some training together too. I think there's a lot of free training too.
Yeah, there is.
So we'll see something out of the auditors of state office also. They'll be giving us the guidance. I think by the end of the month is what they said.
Yes.
So we'll know better
That'd be good.
what it is that they're wanting from us specifically. So with that, that's my report.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you very much,
Thank
Scott.
you.
So next, old business, fire cadet program bylaws. Can you step on up, Mr. Sam?
Updates. So we're cleaning up the bylaws and going over them. We are gonna have a meeting with chief just to finish some stuff up. And then we should have it by next meeting for you guys.
Okay, very good.
Great.
And then we also spoke with chief and we plan to launch a program under fire prevention week in October.
Oh, very good.
That's good.
That's a good week to do that.
All kinds of prevention stuff,
Yeah.
communications.
And we've also been coming up with some training plans and there's t-shirt designs.
Nice.
Okay, awesome. Good job.
Excellent, very good. Thank you. I have none. Thank you, Sam.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you for the report. Next, the fire department safer grant, we already talked on that, so I don't think we need to touch base anymore. Any other old business?
I don't think so.
No? Okay. New business, questions or concerns of the bills?
I have none.
Do I have a motion to approve payment of the bills that were presented?
I'll make a motion to pay the bills as presented.
I'll second that.
All righty, voice vote, or correction, roll call vote. Ms. Colvin,
Here, not here, yes.
Mr. Kaufman?
Yay.
And Mr. Jacobs?
Yes.
All right, this motion's passed.
Next is Resolution 2025-53, a resolution levying a special assessment on land in Wayne Township for the street lighting districts. Everything's been presented to you. Gus, do you need to have any more discussion regarding this?
No, the only thing I wanted to do, I got call everybody's attention, I guess, is, go down here to a page. Just want to explain one thing so that if you get a question, I feel like this is where the questions always come from. If neighbors started talking to each other, or people in our community start to talk, you know, the biggest question is going to be, you know, if, when they see the assessment on their bill, for example, someone in Trillium Run would have a $90.64 assessment, whereas somebody in Woodville Estates has a $165.80 assessment. And people out in Haynes Meadows have a $41.76 assessment. And that's simply due to the fact that these are separate districts, and that's the way the assessments have. You have to take the total cost and divide it by the number of lots. So that's the simplest way to explain it. A good example is Haynes Meadows has the exact same streetlights as Spartan Meadows has. They have 4 aluminum poles with cobra heads on them. And the only difference in between $104 per lot versus 41 is Haynes Meadows has 50 houses, Spartan Meadows has 20. So, and then you'll see it below that page where it went up from last year, which was very minimal. It should get us down to the exact amount, so we're not, you know, we're not assessing any more than what we need to collect.
Excellent.
All right, thanks.
Make a motion to adopt Resolution 2025-53.
I'll second that.
All right, roll call vote, Mr. Kaufman?
Yay.
Mr. Jacobs?
Yes.
And Ms. Colvin?
Yes.
This resolution passed this 19th day of August.
Next is Resolution 2025-54, a resolution adopting the Warren County multi-jurisdictional hazard mitigation 5-year plan update. Gus, any more discussion regarding this?
No, but I think I sent that plan out to everybody, 3 or 4 weeks ago. I think everybody said that they had reviewed it. We had asked for representation, which if you do have any questions, we do have a representative that can probably answer it.
I'm a citizen tonight, you decline that.
And seeing how they were done, then I canceled, you know, the question they made.
Okay, very
Thank
good.
you, guys.
I appreciate all your guys' work on
So
That's
next,
good work.
we have, next
Good
is,
exercise.
it. I'll make a motion to adopt resolution 2025-54.
I'll second.
All right, roll call vote. Mr. Kaufman?
Yay.
Mr. Jacobs?
Yes.
Ms. Colvin?
Yes.
This resolution's been adopted this 19th day of August.
Okay, next is Resolution 2025-55, a resolution establishing Fund 4401, Public Works Commission Project Fund for Issue 2 grant proceeds to resurface Corwin Avenue and Parksville Road. Make a motion to adopt Resolution 2025-55.
I'll second that.
All right. Mr. Kaufman?
Yay.
Mr. Jacobs?
Yes.
Ms. Colvin?
Yes.
This has been adopted this 19th day of August.
Any other new business? Do we have any correspondence?
I do.
Go ahead.
So 99 7/8% of the time, all I get is whining and crying and bitching. But every once in a great while, I get a thank you. So a resident on Middletown Road, she called and asked about, she had a broken limb up in a tall tree, and it was in the spring. And she called and asked if I could help her out a little bit. So we did. We went out there, and it was a little bit out of the right of way, and it was around the power lines, which I wasn't too thrilled about. Nevertheless, we got it out, and she dropped off this nice thank you note and even brought us 4 cinnamon rolls. And they're gone, so.
Is it better than the raspberry pie?
They were not better than the raspberry pie, no. I don't think there's anything out there better than raspberry pie. And Cheryl, if you are watching, we would like to have another. So I'll pass that down the line, and that's all I have.
Okay, any other correspondence? Okay, next, any elected officials' comments?
I'm done.
Okay. So we're gonna go into a work session. This is gonna be regarding to zoning code amendments. Okay, so we are out of work session and we are back in regular session. And next we have executive session. We're gonna go into executive session first for ORC 121.22 G2 to consider the purchase of property for public purposes, the sale of property at competitive bidding, or the sale or other disposition of unneeded, obsolete, or unfit use property in accordance with section 505.10 of the revised code. Premature disclosure of information would give an unfair competitive or bargaining advantage to a person whose personal private interest is adverse to the general public interest. Do I have a motion to go into executive session with the trustees and administrator first?
I will make a motion for executive session.
I'll second.
Okay, roll call vote, Mr. Kaufman,
Yay.
Mr. Jacobs.
Yes.
Ms. Colvin.
Yes.
Excellent, then we'll be back. Okay, so we came out of executive session at 8:25. The motion was made by myself, Mr. Kaufman, second by Mr. Jacobs. All were in favor, and we are now back into regular session. So now that we're back into regular session, we're gonna go back into executive session again. This is regarding Ohio Revised Code 121.22 G1. This refers to the appointment, employment, demotion, or compensation of the public employee or official, or the investigation of charges or complaints against a public employee, official, licensee, or regulated individual. So we're going to make a motion to go to executive session. It is 8:27 with the trustees, the administrator, and the fire chief. Do I
I'll
have a
second that.
All right, roll call vote, Mr. Jacobs.
Yes.
Mr. Kaufman, and Ms.
Yes.
Colvin.
Yes.
Hey, we made a motion at 8:50, or Mr. Jacobs made a motion at 8:51 to come out of executive session. Was called in, second that motion. All were in favor. So we are now in regular session. Is there anything else that needs to be discussed before we adjourn? Nothing else?
I don't have anything.
Okay. It is 8:52. I make a motion to adjourn the Wayne Township Board of Trustees meeting.
I'll second.
And we're adjourned.